Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Brown. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial of how I created something in SketchPad. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my background to white. All right, there we go. Now I decided I wanted to use a background that I can pull off the internet. So here's a background that I chose. It does have a little bit of a foreground, but I'm going to change that. So I'm going to copy the image by either two finger clicking or right clicking. Head to SketchPad, and then I'm going to press Control V to paste. Let me click on my arrow in the top left corner. Now I can move this around. Now there's some white space around here, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it covers everything. There we go. And then I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Let's see what it looks like at the top. All right, looks good. It's okay that it's a little bit hanging over because I'm going to change that anyway. So once I have my backdrop in place, I'm going to click on layers and my image and my background. I'm going to lock my image. That way I can't move it around anymore. So next I'm going to cover up this bottom area that has the reflection. So I'm going to click on the shape. I choose rectangle. I'm going to fill it with an almost black, really dark gray color. I'm going to start my rectangle over here and drag it all the way over. So now I've gotten rid of that bottom place. I'm also going to make a street that's going to be in front of this gray area. So I'm going to make the street a little, so I'm going to make the street a little bit smaller. Drag this down here. And I also have a lighter gray. All right. Pull it all the way over. All right. Now that I have those in place, I'm going to lock both rectangles just so I can't move them around anymore. Now, this is my background with my moon here, but I want to put in some extra buildings as my mid-ground. So I'm going to click on Clip Art, and I'm going to look for buildings. Looks like they're already popping up. The first building I'm going to choose is something that looks like extra cityscape. Here we go. That one looks good. So let's get some extra city in here. All right, well, we can't have it floating, so we'll bring it down here a little bit. That might be a little bit too big. Oh, maybe not. So there we go. We have some extra buildings. I'm going to place some more buildings. Let's look for some more buildings. How about the White House? All right, there we go. Some sort of government building. That can be back there too. I think the government building is going to have some grass around it though. So I'm going to choose the rectangle again. I'm going to turn it green this time. And I'm going to put the rectangle in front of and around this building. Now it's covered it up. It's covered it up. So I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to choose send backwards. There we go. That looks good. Now it has some grass around it. So we've got some city. We've got another building. Let's see. Any other buildings that we like that we can put back there? How about a little village over here? Well, if this house is this house would be a lot smaller. Maybe we need to make this a little bit bigger. And we could put the house over there. Got to make sure we click on the arrow so we can move it around some more. I'm going to make a couple houses. So I'm going to Control C to copy, Control V to paste. I'm making a few houses. Maybe it looks like a little housing track. And they can all be layered on top of each other. That is what makes them look like it's a neighborhood, like they're like you could really go in there and drive around and find people. Okay, so now I've got some houses. I've got the White House or a government building, and I have these big office buildings. Okay, now in the foreground of this, I'm going to put some cars. So like, let's say we're driving by and checking all of this out. So I'm going to go back to clip art. And I'm going to find cars. Let's see what we get. All right, well, we want a car that's going, that we can see driving sideways. So this old-fashioned car is pretty cool. A vintage race car, it says. All right, vintage race car. So maybe this one is driving by. Notice it's a lot bigger because it's in front of everything. And this is my street. So this light gray area will be my street. Let's look for another car. See if we find something else good. Put a car in there. Scroll down. And let's see what we find. Any other cars? How about this green one? Ooh, all right. Okay. So maybe this car is closer. See how it's in front of that one? So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than that car. Plus, I think this car would be bigger anyway. These cars are a little bit tiny. The antique cars. Okay, so maybe he's in the next lane over. So when you overlap the cars in front of each other, when you overlap the houses in front of each other, just like these buildings are overlapping each other, that's what gives the art dimension and space. So it feels like we can see what's in front of each other and that there's some sort of mystery hiding behind all of these other objects. This is what makes it look three-dimensional and not flat. So I like it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I have my foreground. I have some cars. My middle ground, I have these buildings. And then I chose my background by copying and pasting an image from the internet. And now I'm going to work on saving it and turning it in. That'll be the next video.